Hi YouTube, it's Lena, and I'm here today to do a first impression on the Physicians Formula Mineral Wear Cushion Corrector and Primer Duo. Ooh, isn't it pretty? I do love their packaging. So there are two versions of this. I picked the green and yellow, which the yellow corrects dark circles and dullness, and the green corrects redness. And I do have a good bit of redness on my face, so definitely we'll get to test that. They also make a peach lavender version, so it is $16.99, and you guys are gonna have to deal with me reading claims off the back of the box because I can't find crap about this online, even though I've had this for over a month, so I know it's not like so new that we don't have info out on it yet. I picked this up at CVS. So okay, has all these little, pictures on the side that you can't see because of my light. It's hypoallergenic, fragrance-free, paraben-free, gluten-free, cruelty-free, dermatologist tested, clinically tested, and oil-free, which is good for me because I have oily skin. First ever cushion corrector and primer duo, at least in America. Who knows what's been out in Korea. Weightless mineral formula delivers the skin transforming benefits of color correction and skin perfecting effect of priming in one revolutionary cushion. Essential first step to create a flawless complexion, instantly color corrects skin tone, blurs fine lines and pores, and conceals visible imperfections. Uniquely buildable formula allows for spot correction or all over perfecting. So it looks very identical to the cushion foundation, except the cushion foundation is blue. Like all blue. So just going to pop this open. It does come with a little spongy applicator. I did peel off the packaging. Like it comes sealed actually, but I peeled that off. So I'm going to put it on this side of my face. This is my right side. And I guess we're first going to go in with the yellow side and correct under my eyes, because as you can see I do have a little bit of a dark circle thing going on right now. Oh, I should bring you in for this part at least. So right here, I'm going to blend it in with my finger, but this is just how I'm going to apply it so I don't get sticky fingers all up in my cushion. I don't know, I think it helped a little bit. I'm actually going to apply a tiny bit more right in this section just because it says it's buildable, and that's where the worst of my circle, my dark circle, really is. When I look in the camera, it just looks bright ass yellow. But when I look in person, it looks like it actually corrected. So I don't know if the light reflecting is just catching more of the purple, not purple, yellow or what. So I'm going to go in with the green side now, with the green side of the sponge. And this part, because it is my primer, I'm actually going to apply it all over my face. So I want to see how it does on like pores and whatnot too. Well, at least this part isn't making me look straight up green on camera. That's a nice little thing. I will say the little split thing is a little awkward to use because I'm trying to not get any in the yellow side. I bet this would work a little, I bet the getting of it would work a little bit better if I was using like a more pointed brush or a sponge or something, but I'm trying this thing out and so far it's not bad. I think the green definitely works. I mean, my face turns red when I touch it, just a side effect of life. For me. I'm trying to not stick my finger in here so bad, but I definitely want to, just to get like a little bit more of a pointed application. But I don't want to like dirty it up, even though I did wash my hands before I started off. Okay, so this is the color corrected side and this is not. So I definitely think the green worked. Now it does look like it's helped with my pores a little bit. I'm gonna bring you really close for that. So this is, come on, focus. There we go. This is the side with the pore. Like, my nose is definitely redder over here, and I do think it helped a little bit with pore situation. So we are going to make sure this is closed. Yeah, I can't pull it right back open, so we're gonna assume that's closed. I will wash my little sponge later. And now we're gonna apply foundation. Hope to God I brought it over here so I don't have to, yep, I did. Today I'm actually going with my CoverGirl Clean Matte BB Cream in Fair. I know how it performs, so that's not gonna be a widely varying factor. I really do think that the green side especially is really good, like as far as color correcting is concerned. That is what the foundation looks like. I have done a first impression on this before. I can link that down below for you guys if you haven't seen it and want to. So I'm going to apply on the color corrected side first. Get up in my hairline. Like, everybody has those places that unless they pay attention to, they miss. Mine is right here and right here because my hairline goes back a little bit. And I can always tell when I go outside if I've forgotten that because I have like a obvious color difference. Stop trying to roll off the damn desk. Now we're going to do the not color corrected side. And also the unprimed side, so we will definitely likely see a difference in like oiliness or lasting power probably. This thing doesn't claim to help with oiliness at all, so we might not see a true difference in oiliness. Like both sides might end up getting relatively oily, I don't know. It's a matte BB cream and it does have a pretty matte finish. Although it is amazing with a primer, I will say. Like, it's good without a primer, but it's amazing with a primer. Because when I do first impressions on foundations, if you're tuning in for the first time, I don't wear a primer, even though I have really oily skin, because I don't want that variable in there. To be all scientific about it. Plus I can usually guess, okay, this worked out pretty well on its own. I bet it would be amazing when I wear one of my primers. Although one of my favorite YouTubers, she's become one of my favorite YouTubers, Love Heatherette, when she does first impressions, she does one day with no primer and one day with her usual kind of routine. And I thought about starting that. If you guys would like to see me do that, instead of just doing it without a primer all on its own, I can do that. I'd be happy to do that. So I think that is a really great way to do first impressions. But here we go. So primed, not primed. In person, I can see a difference. Like, I actually can. Maybe it's just in my head, but I think I can. Because this side looks whiter. Honestly, like not in a too pale way, but in a like not as much redness and stuff peeking through. It's more of my actual color rather than my actual color plus red, because I'm a naturally kind of red person. Like my dad is always bright red. I get that from him. But so far, so good. I actually really like it. So it is now 3:50. I filmed a video before this as well. I'm testing an eyeshadow as well. But I will be back in a couple of hours to check in and we shall see how it performs. Okay, I totally meant to check in like earlier, but it's now like 10:50, so it's been like 6.5 hours since I put the primer on. This is the side without it. This is the side with it. I mean, I'm pretty shiny on both sides, but I would say I'm a little more shiny on this side, but this primer does not say anything about oil control, so I'm not expecting it to give me much oil control. However, looking in the mirror, my blush is still there. My highlight's still mostly there. Contour's still there, so everything is hanging in. My foundation is definitely still on. I don't seem to have any redness outside my cheek area. I will say I had a bit of issue with my concealer earlier, but I think it was the concealer and not the fact that I had a corrector on underneath. I used my Tarte Maracuja creaseless concealer earlier, and it is very thick, and I have not used it in a very long time. I'm planning on panning it in 2017, that's why I started using it today. And I put on too much. And when I got in the car to go to Ulta to pick up my birthday gift, it was very, very like bright under my eyes, like too bright, like reverse raccoon bright. So I was like, okay, we have to do something about that. So I mean, I'm shiny, and I can't find my freaking blotting sheets right now. I think the desk ate them, or else I would blot on camera for you. But I don't feel oily, or it doesn't feel heavy or anything like that, so we're still doing good on that front. Most of my makeup is still on. Like, there's a little bit of wear away with my highlight, but that is always like the first thing that wears off on me. That's why I don't test highlights for first impressions, because they would just be gone at the end of the day. They always are. And I like to wear highlights too, but that's why I'm not super into highlights like some people are. I like them, I wear them, but I know that by the end of the day, it's going to be more of my natural oiliness and less of an actual like applied highlight that's going to be shining through on my face. Rambly is rambly though, so we're still doing good, about 6.5 hours in, and I will check back in another couple of hours. Okay, so final check-in. It's basically 1 o'clock in the morning, so I've had everything on for over 8 hours, which is what I like to do, at least 8 hours. And I want to do the dishes, but to turn on the dishwasher is going to be the camera's going to pick up on it, so I need to do this before I do that, so that then I can take off my makeup and go to bed. So, primer. I'm not sure how much of a true primer this is. Now, don't get me wrong, I like what it does, because the green really did conceal my redness and has seemingly held up throughout the day. And while it did not necessarily hold many of my oils back, it did not make me more oily, which, because this was a cushion thing, I was a little afraid of, because the cushion foundations don't work for me because of that, even though I really love the concept of having like a little foundation on the go. And I've actually found tutorials on YouTube to DIY your own cushion foundations, and I think I'm going to do that in the future. If you guys want to see a video on that, I can totally do one for you. But I do like how the green canceled out my redness. And the yellow did cancel out some of my dark circles, although it was a little awkward to put on. Like this packaging, like this little divided sponge right here, is a tiny bit awkward to use. I'm thinking maybe rather than trying to use the little sponge they sent with it, to use like a little, not a little, but like a more detail-oriented brush. So I don't think I could get my Real Technique sponge in here too well either without hitting the other side. But to use a brush and apply it that way would work a lot better. And as far as my concerns for oil, I think I could wear this with, say, a more mattifying primer, and it would work great. So I am really happy that I bought it, because I do think it works. I just don't necessarily think it's a primer that you can use on your own. But if you have a lot of redness in your face, or, you know, really dark spots that you could use a Stila part on, I think it's worth trying out. And like I said, I do really like it, so yeah. So that is it. Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, I do really appreciate it, and hopefully I'll see you later. Bye.